Well, here was the Eurobandit here once again. Today it's the 20th of December of 2017, and as the title says, I bought a 99 Volvo 740 Wagon, or as it's more commonly called, 745. It's in pretty good used condition. Now the 740 was my dream car for a very long time. It was one of my dream cars that I wanted to purchase, and I knew that I'll buy one day. And of course I've been looking at several cars before I actually bought this one. Well, I didn't really know what I was gonna get, but I wanted another car, so at first I wanted to get a Ford Cougar just to try it out. Nothing I would have kept anyway. Keep it for a while, see how it drives and all that, and then sell it. And I looked at one that wasn't in as great of a condition. It was actually for parts. Yeah, that thing wasn't in great condition. And I thought, well, why not get a classic Volvo? And then I went ahead and looked at a 99 Volvo 240 Wagon. Well, that thing wasn't inspected and all that, but the rocker panels were shot, completely shot. It was rotted out, so I passed. And the suspension felt really broken when I test drove it. Other than that, it ran fine, so of course I didn't buy it. And then I saw another Ford Cougar. At that point I didn't really want to buy one of those cars, but you know, I went ahead and checked that one out as well. Well, I didn't really look at it. There was another buyer that was there before me, but I actually got to see the car in real life, and I didn't really like it. It wasn't as nice as advertised, so. And I also heard that it ran very bad, so of course I didn't buy it. But at that point I was almost sure I'm gonna get one of these beautiful cars, so. I actually saw this car earlier before I even checked the last Cougar out. I actually spoke to the seller once, and he originally asked in euros around 850, and I told him that I would take it for 700, and of course he didn't accept it. I went and contacted the guy again 1 week later because the car was still there, advertised, so I told him, look, I'm still interested and I would still like to buy it for 700, and he actually changed his mind, and at that point he said, alright, you can have it for 700 euros, and it has passed inspection not so long ago. It's also taxed, and the tax itself costs around 220 euros per year, so I'd say this was an excellent deal. It has a bit of a rust, but these newer 740s are better galvanized from what I know, and it kind of looks like it. Usually the rear fenders are rotted out on these cars, but not on this one. It does have some surface rust, but other than that it's all alright. Of course the rocker panel has a hole in it right around here, as you can no doubt see. And of course the passenger front door is pretty shot, but I'm not gonna bother fixing it. I can simply go to a scrapyard and get another door. Yeah, you can't really see it, it's dark, but yeah, other than that, it does have some surface rust here and there. Some over here, and of course paint is chipping off from the tailgate, and the fuel door is missing. Looks like it's broken right off the hinges. Has some more surface rust over there, and of course over here as well. Then of course the rear door does have a bit of rust, and you can see some compound residue. One of the previous owners polished this car, and that's why it's that shiny. The only issue is that they didn't bother masking the door trim and the bumpers and all that, so there is quite a bit of compound residue. It actually looked a lot worse because I cleaned this car recently and a lot of it came off, which is good. It's got some rock chips on the hood, as you can no doubt see. and some rust. But yeah, rock chips are common, all cars have them in Sweden, especially if they've been driven all year round. But I'm obviously going to fix this rust. Kinda looks worse over here, but it's just surface rust and some compound residue. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is the facelifted version. In '99 they actually facelifted the 740. It has a different front end, smaller headlights, and the bumper is also a bit different, and I believe the spoiler as well, and of course the grille too. Now, some of them had chrome grille. I'm obviously going to replace this basic grille with a chrome one later on. Now, I rather prefer the 80s front end, but I like the 90s one as well. The car itself is really nice and straight. I mean, it does have a few dings here and there, but not all too much really, and it does have 350,000 kilometers, which isn't also little, but it's not much for a classic rear-wheel drive Volvo. I need to replace the taillights at some point. I mean, they look alright, but they're cracked and all that. I'm gonna take care of that. And it currently sits on winter tires with rusty steel rims, but the tires are in decent condition and they're well balanced and all that, which means that I'll pretty much keep these rims for a while. Of course, the wiper arm is broken off, so I'm gonna have to look for a new one or a good used one. Yeah, you can see some more rust over here and on this side as well. And this is how it looks like on the inside. It's very nice and spacious, I really like it. So I've got some more storage over here. Now, I did vacuum the interior earlier today, and I also went ahead and quickly cleaned the interior with some interior cleaner and some microfiber towels, and it actually turned out to be great. The entire interior I'm gonna show right now. Let me close the trunk. This is how the interior looks like. As you can no doubt see, nice and clean. Of course, it would need a full interior detail, but now it's winter and for now it's fine. And yeah, the seats are nice and clean. The interior is in quite great shape, and the dashboard isn't cracked, which is very good. Yeah, some pieces are broken here and there, but you know, in the land of Volvos you can actually find parts very easily. You can find a lot of these cars in the scrap yards. The instrument cluster has been replaced. It might be from a newer 740 because it has an SRS light, and this car does not have an SRS, which is very good. Headliner is in very good shape. Usually the headliner is sagging on these cars, but this one is great. But at some point I'm gonna find the original instrument cluster from another 740. Now, it does say that it has 330, the car actually has 350,000 kilometers. And I also need to replace the fan resistor because it only works on the maximum, which kind of sucks. It did have an aftermarket JVC with radio and CD player, which I've recently removed because I wasn't satisfied with it. There's a individual balance control over here, which is a cool feature. Now let me pop the hood and show the engine. Here it is. It's a 2.3 liter inline 4 engine with 8 valves, B230F. This one's the natural aspirated version, which is a 115 horsepower engine. And of course it's quite a bit dirty. I'll eventually clean it and all that. This particular example is made in Sweden. They did make these in Belgium and Italy as well. Even in Sweden you can find a few that aren't made in here. Hood's in really great shape. And I've also installed yellow halogen light bulbs on 100 watts. As you can no doubt see, it really looks nice. It's actually my favorite color, and it makes pretty much every car look a lot cooler. Well, that's pretty much all I gotta say for now. This was a story of how I got this car, as well as an overview of my 99 Volvo 740. Hope you liked this video. If you did, why not? Thumbs up. Check out my other videos, and if you like what I'm doing, I'll subscribe, and I'll definitely see you next time. Cheers.